sir. That's not what I was asking for. Come here, you goober. Okay, I was putting that up so we could say we're working on his heel today, and we've got him on a slip leash today. So the difference with the slip leash is, one, it goes up right behind his ears, so as high up on his neck as you can get it. This one's just got a little tab. I prefer the ones that are spring-loaded because then it actually stays in place. But this is what I had on hand. But the difference is it communicates pressure all around his neck instead of just in one spot. So it's a lot easier to communicate with him. It also acts as kind of a power steering on his head, so I'm controlling where his head is going. So we're working on his heel. Right now, what I'm trying to do is have the leash kind of behind me. That way if he gets ahead, it's really simple to just move my wrist a little bit and pull him right back into position. Whereas if he's on this side, whoop, even at the proper spot, I have to pull my arm all the way back as opposed to just moving my wrist. And that lets me still have this hand available to lure him with the treat, because we're trying to work on both at the same time at the moment. So, Gabe, sit. So you're always going to start in a sit first. Heel. I'm starting to introduce the word. Good. And then when we stop, yes. Heel. Wait, I gotta get a snack first. It's my fault. So I can give him just a little bit of feedback with the leash. So I can add a little pressure there. Good. There we go. There we go. Pressure back there. Whoop. I gotta take my jacket off. Getting to sit. Yes. Break. Okay. Not too bad for his first time trying it with a different leash. We'll make some progress on that today, hopefully. What? Sit. Break. Let me take my jacket off first. Hold on. Hiya. There we go. So, just taking the extra. So, what you're looking for is that he's got a slight little bit of space in the leash if you don't want to have to pay attention to where he's going. And then it comes behind me. So he's got just enough space to make a mistake, but while he's next to me, the leash should be loose. That makes it super easy to feel. Yes. When he's adding pressure and pull him back. So if I go like this, I can pull him back. Yes. Anytime he's ahead of me. I'll go ahead and show you that from the side. Come here. So from the side, he should be in line with my hip. So if he gets ahead, I can just pull him back. There you go. Good boy. Yes. This is actually pretty good practice. Yes. Yes. Good. Heel. Good boy. Right here. Good. Yes. We'll turn. So the goal is to have him need less and less help. Beautiful. Good boy. Oh, this is already looking much better. Back this way. Yes. And I think for him, break. The less help I give him, the better he's actually going to do. So I think we're actually going to switch as fast as we can to him not needing a whole lot of help, especially inside, because that makes him actually have to process it in his brain. Right now, we've been getting used to him just doing the motions with me, and a lot of dogs need that physical habit. But I want him to start actually engaging his brain for the heel. So we'll start working on that here in a little bit. Good boy. We've already figured out what his lowest number is on the e-collar, so we're introducing it today. I like introducing it in the place command because that's the one dogs find the easiest a lot of the time, and it's the clearest one to be able to communicate. So it's the one I tend to start with, that or recall. But he's usually staying by me anyways, as long as I'm walking around, so that one will be a little bit harder for him. So we'll go with this one. So there are two phases that we're introducing it in. This is the first one. In this phase, we're pressing this N button over here on the side, and that's what we're pressing for the second phase too. But we're pressing and holding until he gets into the command. So how the order of operations is, the button's going to turn on first, a split second before we're giving the command. Then it stays on until he gets into the command and turns off when he's fully there, and then add the positive reinforcement, same as before. So we're on that lowest number that he notices, a 4. So collar goes on, place, off, yes. And then positive reinforcement, good. And then we can go about the rep as normal, working on distance or whatever else we want to work on. Good boy. Today we're focusing on duration. As long as he doesn't get off, the e-collar doesn't turn back on, but the e-collar is what helps most with adding distractions because it gives us that little bit of feedback from a distance. You don't have to be right on top of him to be able to give place. So collar on. And off. There we go. At the level we're adding it on, it's not exactly a punishment because it's not something he doesn't particularly like, but it is negative reinforcement when it turns off, because it still is that little bit of an aversive. So it's not, it falls somewhere in that gray area with being positive punishment. But the goal is that it's negative reinforcement. It only turns on in the second phase. It only turns on when he doesn't do something correct. But yes, this is what we've been waiting for with that duration, is that he starts to just settle. And one of the things with this is I want to make sure I'm feeding him below his eye line so that he's not trying to pop up out of his sit and grab the treat as early as he can. If I'm not releasing the treat until it gets that far, he's just going to wait until it gets to him anyway. Good. Beautiful. And he's up to about 1.5 minutes at the moment. But we're not going to go that far right now. Break. Good job. Good boy. Good job. So, do the same thing again. So, collar turns on first and on, place. Off. Yes. Good boy. And for most dogs, I don't feel the need to correct them while they're standing, but I will ask them to go back into a sit because most of the time standing up means you're more likely to get off, but to each dog their own. It's up to whatever that particular dog is able to handle and be successful at. Good boy. Collar on, off, No reward after correction again. Break. Good boy. So we'll do the same thing with recall. On, come. Off, yes. Good boy. Good boy. In the early stages, I'm only working it on the commands that they know the best. So since he doesn't have a heel very much, and he doesn't even have a word to it, we're not going to introduce it on the heel. His down is still a little bit iffy. He's still kind of slow. He just barely got to doing a verbal command on it, so I'm not going to add it to that, but I can add it to his come, his place, and his sit, because those ones are all solid, and he's able to do them with distractions. So that's when we can start introducing the e-collar to those commands, the ones that he knows well enough.